Welcome to another edition of Vigorously with me, Val Kleinhans. I am thrilled to have the one and only Marco from Xandria in the building to celebrate Eclipse. It's coming. We're ready. I'm excited.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we are excited too. Thank you very much for having me.
I want to talk about the evolution of Xandria's sound really quickly because throughout the catalog, we hear a variety of goth moments, operatic moments, certainly symphonic moments, and sometimes the music is heavier than others. Within each era of Xandria musically, what do you feel like, well, musically, what have you held on to stay consistent?
I've been a metal fan for decades now, and I love different kinds of metal, the classic metal. I liked in the 90s when I grew up with metal in my teenager years and 20s. I was getting into the more extreme and dark kinds of metal at that time, like death and black metal. And Yeah, and later on, I discovered that I actually, without knowing, I was always a fan of film scores, which
Mm,
at the time I discovered that how it always was influencing me and inspiring me when I was watching a movie and seeing how the music is so well done and carrying the story. I was deciding to also add that to my own music. So since then, these are the two worlds that I'm kind of living in as an artist, like
yeah.
metal on one side and film scores on the other side. And I think they are a great fit because they are both can be really bold and dark. They can be both epic together, and carry a lot of different feelings and
Right.
things you want to express. So it's just really great. I have a whole big palette with that, and
Yeah.
I think this is something that was present in all of the last Xandria albums.
Yeah, and the Shannon's Home video is a clue that we're continuing this. Like the collaboration with orchestras, pianists, violinists, other people who write film scores. Like this isn't new for Xandria. You've done this before, and we're doing again. So I have to wonder if this collaboration, it's got to fulfill you as a musician. You keep doing it.
Yeah, definitely. There's always new stuff that we haven't done before, and this is the stuff that keeps us going. When I, as a songwriter, I am discovering something that I haven't done before, and that is a challenge for me. That I maybe even need to really wrap my head around a little bit to learn something new, to really be able to use it in my own music. This is the stuff that keeps me going. And always when I have a song idea, and that song idea has something in it which is a challenge for me, then
Mm.
this is something that makes me think, okay, I got to do this. This is great. Even more so when that idea is feeling like this might be a challenge also for our listeners. Like it might feel new for people, you
Yes,
know?
but you're doing this in a way that doesn't alienate fans. You're fulfilling yourself as a musician while keeping fans interested. What is the secret to making sure that those two worlds stay together?
Mm. I think the secret is you need to have these feelings yourself. I think if you are bored by your own music, because, oh, yeah, okay, we had this successful album back then, and we just need to repeat that, on every album we do,
Mhm.
and you like secretly you'll get bored by it. I think people also get bored by it at some point. But if you always keep yourself interested and always try to find the new in your music and try to find new little things to challenge you and that you can combine with your music and yourself get excited by that. I
Yeah.
think then this was something that can excite the people who listen to it later.
It does. It keeps everybody interested, and it's always exciting when a new era is involved. We're about to enter one now. So, for you, what was the best part about making this album?
Yeah, it's actually exactly that to do all of these things. There's in each song on this album, there's a little moment, or there was a little moment when writing that song that was this kind of challenge, this moment. Oh, this is something we haven't done before. This is interesting. Let's follow that. I mean, I had like 30 or 40 song ideas, but in the end, it's 11 on that album. So the song ideas that were a little bit like, okay, we have done this before. This is not that interesting for me right now.
Yeah, I
Um,
understand.
it's not even such a conscious decision. It's just I'm sitting down. I have maybe three ideas that I had on the day before. I just automatically start working on the idea that interests me most, and which
Right.
is, in most cases, it's not an idea that is something repeating something I have done before. This new album is full of those moments, like, um, and it can be just little things. Um, when I start with the first song, it starts very, very dark and powerful, I think. And then there is this very sudden breakdown into a atmospheric part, which is quite long before the chorus starts. I think I've never done something like this before. I think it's quite
Mm.
bold. Usually you would just go right into the chorus. And then on the Shannon's Home, you have this acoustic guitar outro with the whistles.
Yours, and it
Uh,
matched so perfectly. And by the way, when you did that with the video, the sun's opening up. I mean, like that is cinema. That was
yeah,
so cool to see. It really is. And when I watched the video on YouTube too, it kind of hinted that there might still be some surprises left. Even though that was a good heavy gift, there might still be some surprises left. So, I mean, can you give us any hints on what's still to come?
for example, there's a song uh, which starts like a as a ballad, also quite unusual. It starts right away with piano and voice, no intro, just right away into
Mm,
it. A
okay.
bit, a bit pop style maybe to do it that way. It has some unusual harmonies in the chorus that I didn't use before, almost a little bit bluesy, maybe a bit R&B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people shouldn't be too scared because it blends very well with the orchestral sounds around and everything. It just makes it bigger.
Right.
Think Michael Jackson Earth song, Heal the World, this kind of thing.
Okay.
And and in the middle, it has this super long David Gilmour style Pink Floydish solo.
Yeah.
Um, and all of that felt so new for me when writing this, and for us when we put that together as a band, that we did not really care that this song is actually not symphonic metal at all, or what people would call that,
Okay. I'm ready for
because
something new.
because I know that this is the term people use for us as well as for other bands that are regarded as doing something similar, of the combination of metal and orchestral arrangements, I guess.
Hmm.
And but we don't really care for that. We just write songs and do
Right.
with them whatever we feel. And it's mostly that something metal with something of film score. And in the end, it's something that people probably regard as being symphonic metal because it has metal and symphonic elements in it, even though it's not that we were sitting down, we got to write it as being symphonic metal.
Hmm.
So sometimes it just turns out that it's something that is maybe adjacent to it,
Hmm.
because of course there is a lot of orchestra in it, in that song.
Right.
But I think it sounds very different from what we did before. And it's also, you can say that about some other songs on that album.
Yeah.
Um, like Colors, for example, there's these super low-tuned modern metal guitars in it, which happened a little bit as an accident, because we need to change the key of the song so the vocals could shine more.
Yeah.
And then the guitars, who were already a bit low, would have been much higher and they wouldn't have this impact anymore. So I
Yeah.
was thinking, okay, instead of putting them higher, let's just put them lower, which is as low as we've never played a guitar before on a Xandria song. So the another thing that was for me something new to do, and that was really interesting, and also something that I think people might, when they closely listen to it, they might hear that it's something new for us,
Hmm.
but I think it blends well with everything else in the song.
Yeah, it's adjacent.
I,
It's not so far-fetched that it doesn't make sense,
yeah,
is what it means. I
yeah,
completely
sure.
get that. And I love that we're trying new things. We're always trying new things with this band. I know that the symphonic label, it's not quite the intention, but it's just what happens as you're creating. But how do you feel about some fans saying that this era of Xandria is like filling the Nightwish-sized hole in their heart right now while those guys are on hiatus? Like you're stepping in for them.
This is a very good question. It's an interesting one for me because, in all honesty, I'm a big fan of Nightwish.
Yeah.
It's such a great band, and I don't. I mean, everyone feels how special the songs of Nightwish are, but I'm not sure if everyone really can put that analytical thought in that and really see what's happening in those songs and see how far they're actually from almost everything that you hear in metal.
Hmm.
It's really something else. And for me, Nightwish is something a bit more universal, musically speaking. It's not just a metal band, for sure not just a symphonic metal band. It's
No.
something bigger than that, and it's something that you can definitely have as an inspiration as an artist because of boldly just stepping out of every convention and just doing stuff that other people have not done before. And that is definitely something that is encouraging me. And of course, as I just love their music, I think it's also sometimes just giving that space. If I have a song idea and it feels like something that could be going into the direction of Nightwish, it can happen that it's just automatically that I work on it that way. It's not intentionally of copying anything or trying to fill a gap, but it's
Right.
just because I love what they do. But I think at least 80% of what you can hear on our new album or also on the last album, you cannot, if you analyze it a bit, you cannot really say this is what they did and this is something that is directly inspired by Nightwish because I definitely try to do my own thing, you know.
Hmm.
But I'm glad that people think that Xandria can also be something that feels as universal and big for them
Yes.
in a time when they maybe don't get that experience from Nightwish.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's an honor, to be honest.
Right time, right place. I mean, yes, we do love Nightwish and they're taking a break, but the door's open for you. The door's open for some important messages for you guys to put out there. I love that you did
Sure.
allude to that, heal the world reference and there's a thought given to the messaging that's coming with this album. And from the Shannon's home, I wondered if that message might be stick to what's natural to you, stay what's true to you. Does the album stick to that message or is there more?
I mean, lyrically, there's a lot of messages on this album.
Hmm.
Uh, the Shannon's Home is maybe even one of the least message transporting song,
Really?
like
Okay.
lyrically, musically, for sure, it has this message of just doing what feels right. Of I think this song itself, it doesn't sound very modern in any way. Um, it's just something we've just felt it sounds magical for us. The melodies in it, and we found it very interesting. The the guitar is not just playing, standard power chords. We were just feeling something with that song, so we were putting it out as the first single, um, regardless if it's maybe something that's in fashion or not. Um, but the lyrics of that song, they are a metaphor for life. Like the Shannon is a big river in Ireland, and I just saw it was a nice picture, a nice image, like
Hmm.
a river has a spring, everything is calm and innocent first, and then life is going through maybe some more rough patches. You take some debris on the way, which is swimming on the river, then
Yeah.
going with you. You have that in life, those moments, and you take it with you, that baggage. And
And you
and
learn along the way.
yeah. And in the end, the river flows back to the ocean, where all
Hmm.
the water came from in the first place. Like when our life ends, like everything we carried with us, things we did to other people, things we brought into this world are just brought into this whole universe of life, of
Hmm.
human life, then because it's not our own life anymore, because we are not there anymore. But what we did maybe remains, and we can just hope in a good way, that we did some good stuff in our life that remains.
Yeah.
And that's the message of that song, if you are looking at the lyrics of it.
So this makes me want to ask then, what's one lesson this version of the band has learned that maybe previous versions of it didn't have to or didn't apply?
Oh, I mean, you always learn as an artist. You when you start, you are naive, and you are too trusting,
Hmm.
especially when it's about the music business around you. And this is something that I definitely learned that in those uh, 2.5 decades since our debut album, that I can handle the business side of it a little bit better, to not let it interfere with my artist side in a
Mm-hmm.
bad way. That's a very important thing to learn. Keep that really clean, that you really, as an artist, can stay true to yourself. That's something, but it needs time. Uh, as a young artist, you need to be very, very bold for that. You know?
That's how you learn.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And yeah, and it was very, very important when we had this new lineup,
Mhm.
that even more important than being good musicians, it was that we can have a good time together.
Right.
That we understand each other on a personal level, that we would just feel comfortable with each other when we're on tour, that we can just go to places together and enjoy it. And I think this is maybe more important than everything else. Of course, they need to be good musicians, you need to play the songs on stage. But to be able to do that, you need to feel comfortable together as musicians on stage. I think people can feel that. And I think people can really feel that we are feeling very, very comfortable together as a band right now.
Yes. Yeah, I see experimentation, I see excitement. I mean, that we're ready for everything that you're going to throw our way. And I wonder if all of you agreed, when we were talking about this new album and you're talking about putting it together, were all of you in agreement that the album is still a solid way to make a complete artistic statement? It's still important to make an album. Like in a world where streaming wants constant releases, constant singles. I would imagine all of you agree on that, that an album is still important when it comes to making a complete artistic statement.
Yeah, we do. We all think that. There was definitely not a discussion where some of us said, "Oh no, let's just do singles like some others do,"
Mhm.
um, and some said, "No, we need to make an album." That was actually never the question. Maybe it's a bit of a habit also, because that's where we come from.
Right.
And but it's also something that we thought about. It's not something that was never a point of self-reflection, because when you look around, you see that some artists release single songs on Spotify, and at some point they might put them together to a physical release, but
Hmm.
they were not even intended to be that in the first place. The problem for me with that is that you can hardly, or let's say the other way around, you need to have every song be in a way that it fulfills certain expectations, especially if you are a band that looks on things like, okay, that needs to be successful commercially.
Hmm.
This is not something how we look at music, but if you do, you would need to have every song that you release as a streaming single, like, okay, it needs to hit within the first 10 seconds, you know? But we don't want to do that. We want a song to develop over 8 minutes, you know, stuff
Yeah,
like that. You know, that you can just sit down, close the door, and just let yourself fall into a world of music for an hour, uh, and not just listen to it on the go. Okay, just skip through the playlist of new songs that just been released, and after 10 songs, ah no, that's nothing. And that one, okay, these first 10 seconds, I listen to that later because it seems nice. You lose so much when
you
you look at
do.
music like that. We
Yeah.
would never want to be part of that kind of world that looks at music like that. Um, Also, songs can, which is something maybe that you had in mind now, can be a statement together musically, not just on their own, but also if you have 10 songs that also work together, because it shows a palette of you as an artist. This is also important for us, that we can be diverse, that we can uh, show people this is a whole range of things that we want to do.
Right.
And if you give people just a single song at a time, they will always think this needs to be all the world that this artist is. We can see it even if we release singles from an album, that
Right.
people sometimes, it's almost funny. We have three singles out at the moment. Each single sounds completely different from each other, even though you can always hear that it's us, but they are different. They show a palette, because we are not just one thing, and that's important
Hmm.
for us. People hear a song, and then you can find in the YouTube comments, oh, that turned into that now.
Right.
This is not really my thing. You immediately feel like, okay, but uh, you cannot judge a band by just one song.
No.
This
Look
is
at the
if it,
entire
you
history.
know,
Yeah.
look also, just wait what the album sounds like as a whole. It will create a picture. Look
Hmm.
at that bigger picture then.
Yeah, it's important to create that for you. And it sounds like it's also important to you to show your entire skill set as musicians and your entire skill set, when it comes to creative direction too. You're putting together videos that could be mini movies, and that's important. You want the world to know that you can do that too. I'm excited
Yeah.
for tour because Andrea puts on some great tours, but I don't think there's a US tour just yet. I know we've got one for Europe, but is a US tour coming?
There will be one coming for sure.
Yes.
Of
Okay.
course. I mean, come on.
I
We
was
have been,
hoping so.
yeah, I mean, we have been doing a tour where we have been supporting another band on in each of the last 3 years. We have been, three tours in the last 3 years. And of course, this is leading towards us being able to do a headliner tour on our own
Hmm.
in the US. Although at this point we are not quite sure, because we have also something on the table which might be a good thing to do with another band together again. So let's see what we do first. I think the next weeks, or at least the next 2, 3 months, might show something. and we might be able to tell people something about our plans for the US and Canada in next year, because we 100% want to go to North America next year, definitely.
Ah, we can't wait. August 7th, everybody mark their calendars. Eclipse, it's when it's out. Marco, thank you so much for sitting with me and telling us a little bit about this album. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time as well and for your support. Very appreciated.